Those of us that are Krishna conscious today, we are Krishna conscious solely because of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Because of his desire, because of his hard work and his preaching efforts. He had a desire that this message of Krishna consciousness or worship of Krishna should be spread throughout the world. And to fulfill this desire, he was actually or he can be considered the pioneer of this Krishna consciousness movement. So his desire was to make sure this preaching or this worship of Krishna was practiced worldwide. And we know, following in his footsteps, both his son, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, and our founder Acharya, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, they were also instrumental in bringing this worship of Krishna to the Western world. Therefore, today, in whichever part of the world you may be visiting, you will always find an ISKCON center, a Hare Krishna movement, or Hare Krishna temple that you can go to. I want to quickly talk a little bit about his birth, his early life. I'll take you very quickly through his life. He was born in a place called Birnagar in the district of Nadia in West Bengal in India. He was born on September the 2nd, 1838. He was the third son of Ananda Chandrika Dutt and Jagat Mohini Devi. His parents were extremely wealthy. They didn't stay wealthy for too long. As the years went by, his dad and maternal grandparents were cheated out of their wealth. So his life was not very smooth sailing. He went through a lot of difficulties and calamities, but putting Krishna in the center, he was able to, swim through all of these things. He was given the name Kedarnath by his dad, and Kedarnath is the name of Lord Shiva. He studied. When he reached the school-going age, he was sent to live with his uncle in the city. He went, he studied, he became a school teacher. He didn't want to get into business. He became a school teacher, and thereafter he took many exams and studied, and eventually became a deputy magistrate. When he was a magistrate, this was the time where he started finding out about the worship of Krishna, and he got deeper and deeper into Vedic or Vaishnava philosophy. And he requested at one time to be transferred to one of our holy cities, Jagannath Puri, which is on the eastern shore of India. If you're not familiar with Jagannath Puri, we celebrated our Rath Yatra festival, and Jagannath is on our altar. So he requested to be transferred there just so that he can be close to Lord Jagannath and do further research and praying. So when he got there, the British government was in charge at that time. They allowed him, after much struggle, to be transferred. When he got to Jagannath Puri, he was made the superintendent of the Jagannath temple. This was not an easy task because he had a lot of hard work. One of the things he did was he changed the whole system of worship. He made sure that all of the prayers was done punctually, on time. He also made sure that they followed a strict schedule. So remember, even though he was a district magistrate, he took these tasks upon him to get all of this done. He wrote many books, a lot of literature. One of the earliest books he wrote was in the year 1896. That was the year our founder, Srila Prabhupada, was born. And this book was called Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His Life and Precepts. This was one of the most first books that reached to the West, and it was also found in many libraries at that time. And throughout his books, he spoke about being Krishna conscious, about surrendering and serving Krishna. He had complete faith in the predictions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one of the predictions that Mahaprabhu made was that, this is the Bengali words, Prithvite Acha Yata Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoiva Moranam. This was a prediction that means in every town and village of every country of the world, my name, Krishna's names, will be preached. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur took that message as being his life's work, and he wanted to make sure that this holy name that we all chanted earlier on, the Maha Mantra, that it should be spread in every town and village. And you know, through the hard work of our founder, Srila Prabhupada, this is slowly coming to fruition. Today you can go to any corner of the world and you will see Hare Krishnas, you will have a temple. All thanks to the desire of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He passed on this desire to spread the message of Krishna consciousness to his son, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, and his son passed it on to his disciple, our founder. Therefore, today we have this worldwide ISKCON, or International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So we owe all of them a very great debt. There were many predictions that I'd like to share with you that Bhaktivinoda Thakur had. One of his predictions was that very soon the unparalleled path of Harinam Sankirtan will be propagated all over the world. So this Harinam Sankirtan means the chanting of the holy names. Sometimes you see us going out on the streets, we take this message of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So this was a prediction, that it should be spread all around the world. And you know that that is slowly coming true. And also in his monthly Vaishnava journal, which was called the Sajjana Toshani, he wrote these words. And I think this was so remarkable because it's so applicable, and I'm going to quote directly from that quote. Sriman Mahaprabhu did not descend with his associates to deliver a certain number of human beings in the land of India, but rather his purpose was to deliver and uplift all living beings in all countries of the world by practicing the eternal religion of all souls. So we can take from that message that this Krishna consciousness is not only meant for people that are Indian, from India. It's meant for anyone that has the time and the dedication and the commitment. And those of you that have come here for the first time, please continue coming. We have lots of festivals coming up. We're going to celebrate the birth of Krishna next month. So please come and join us in celebrating these things. He also expressed his desire in the following way. This is a prediction that has definitely come true, and I'm going to quote his words. Quote, "Oh, for that day when the fortunate English, French, Russian, German, and American people would take up banners, mridangas, and kartals and raise kirtan through their streets and towns. When will that day come? Oh, for that day when the fair-skinned men from their side chanting Jai Sachinandan Ki Jai will extend their arms and embracing devotees of our country coming from our side, treat us with brotherly feelings. When will that day come?" So from his words you can see that he wanted people of the world, of all nationalities, of all races, to come together and chant these names of God. That was his prediction. Once again, through the effort of many devotees and our founder, we find that this is happening throughout the world. He also had a house in Mayapur, or across the river in Godrumdwi, across the Jalangi River. And at one time, he was sitting on the balcony of his house with his son and a clerk, and he looked across the river, and all of a sudden he saw a very bright white light shining in the distance. And he asked his son if the son saw the light, and the son did. He said yes, he acknowledged. And he asked the clerk, "Did you see the light?" The clerk did not see the light. So that was a vision that he had. He had a vision of a very big, effulgent city with a huge temple. So therefore he desired that this temple should come into being. And today, because of his desire, our founder, Srila Prabhupada, he has gone ahead and with his mercy and blessings, we do have that big temple. It's called the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium. You can Google search TOVP. It's going to be the largest, I think, Hindu temple worldwide. So you can see this was predicted years ago. And I'll encourage any one of you, if you are visiting India at any time, please go to Mayapur. It's on the east coast of India, from Kolkata, about 3.5 hours. You should make it there to see all of these things with your own eyes. And this was the prediction that Nityananda Prabhu made, and I'm going to quote, Eka Adbhut Mandir e Haibar Prakash, Gaurangere Nitya Seva Haibar Vikash. An astounding temple will appear and will engage the entire world in the eternal service of Lord Chaitanya. And we see this prediction was made more than 500-600 years ago, and we can see through the dedication of devotees and our founder, Srila Prabhupada, this is also coming to be. I don't have too much more, I'm going to quickly wrap it up. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of his major achievements was also locating the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Radha Krishna combined. He descended 500 years ago on earth to spread this mission of praying to Krishna by chanting the holy names. In those days, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he searched everywhere. He looked, he asked people, do you know where is the birthplace? And the birthplace had got lost because over the centuries, the Ganga had flown, the Ganges had, the route of the Ganges was such that most of these places were just, people didn't know where it was. The river changed its course in so many ways that most of these holy places, their site was lost. Bhaktivinoda Thakur studied many maps, he spoke to local people, and after much endeavor, he was able to find the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is given credit for that. To confirm that that was the actual birthplace, he invited one of the head of the Gaudiya Vaishnava movement, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. He invited him, he said, can you please come and confirm my findings that this is the actual birthplace? Now Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, he was also in our parampara, in our disciplic succession, he was higher up. He was 120 years of age at that time. He had a disciple, Bihari, that would carry him around in a basket because he was unable to walk. His eyelids were so droopy that they would cover his whole entire eye. And if he needed to talk to somebody, he would have to prop it up with his hand just so that he could see who he was talking to. But he agreed to come to the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he got there, it is said that he jumped out of his basket and he confirmed. His words were, Eto Nimai Janma Bhove. That means this is indeed the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can see something that we never thought would happen happened just because of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Just the last parts of it, for those of us that are busy, we are working people today, we have so much of responsibilities, we are always thinking how we can fit in time for spirituality. I want us to just quickly listen to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's daily life. For me, it gives me a lot of inspiration and courage. It tells me that we can still fit in spirituality in our busy lives. So I'm going to quickly run down his schedule that he used to follow as a deputy district magistrate. He had many responsibilities. He was the deputy magistrate. He was a married man. He had 10 children. He was also in charge of the Jagannath temple. But he used his time in such a way that he was able to dedicate many hours to studying spiritual literature. He would go to bed between 7:30 to 8 p.m. So from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. he would sleep for 2 hours. And then from 10 to 4 a.m. for 6 hours, he would write books. So 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. the next morning, he would dedicate that to writing books. From 4 to 4:30, he would take a short rest period, 30 minutes. 4:30 to 7, he would dedicate to chanting the mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra that we chant. 7 to 7:30, half an hour, he would do correspondence, answering letters, seeing to his mail. 7:30 to 8:30, he would read various religious works, different spiritual books. 8:30 to 9, 1 hour, he would either meet with visitors, or if there were no guests coming to see him, he would spend his time again reading more devotional literature. 9:30 to 9:45, another short 15-minute rest, then bathing, breakfast. He had very simple meals. It was just half a liter of milk, 2 chapatis, which means 2 Indian flatbread, and some fruit. 9:55 to 1 p.m., he would go to the court, and that was his time to take judgments on all of the cases. And it is said that what would take a regular judge, a normal judge in the court, 30 minutes to decide the verdict, he would do it in 5 minutes. So that's how empowered he was by Krishna to make the right decisions. And he would judge between 30 to 50 cases a day. Then he would come back home at 1 o'clock, refresh himself. 2 to 5, go back to court, and then from 5 to 7, he would translate many Bengali literature into English. He would dictate notes to his secretary, and then evening bathing, again a little dinner, which was rice, 2 chapatis, and again a little bit of milk. So if that is not something to inspire us, I don't know what is. I hope you can take this away with you, that in our busy schedules every day, we can make time for our spirituality if we desire to do that. Throughout his life also, his life was not smooth sailing. One thing which I was amazed to find out that he had a lot of health issues, a lot. He struggled with headaches, fever, lots of bodily ailments. But even though he had all of that, he still persevered. He still continued in this worship of Krishna consciousness. So I think I'm 5 minutes beyond time. I just want to take this time to implore all of you, if you can continue coming to our temple, and if you forget everything else of what I said today, if you just take this message with you, that when you come to the temple, you should also pray to our teachers or previous teachers who use the word acharya. Pray to them for their blessings. Ask them that to guide you and help you in your path to spiritual life. So thank you so much for giving me your time. Is there anyone that has any comments or any quick questions before we break for our dinner prasad? So thank you so much. And we'll see you again when the temple opens in a few weeks' time. Hare Krishna, we all will now go to the dining hall where we'll have our dinner. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, everybody. Now everybody get ready to go out. You can wear your shoes, make a right, and right after the sink, you make a right again into the door, and you will be in the dining hall. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.